Hello, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Give me a moment. I just need to create another post and we will be set to go. Hello, guy with the Glock. Welcome to the stream. Let me put the music a little like lower, though. I love this soundtrack. It's the best. How are you doing, a man with the Glock? Welcome. I always wonder, is your Glock loaded? Or do you have it only for... Or you only have it for bragging rights? Is your gun loaded or you just have it like that? Oh, I wish this was an accurate depiction of my bedroom. You have a Glock for self-defense? Well, very well. It's not loaded most of the time. Got it. Interesting lore I'm learning from you. No, this is not an accurate depiction of my room, except for the blobs. And this is not an accurate depiction of my chair either. I have a regular office chair that is killing my back. Like, since the beginning it's killing my back. No, wait, at the beginning I have a regular old chair of a kitchen. It was just a wood chair with like a tall back. It was interesting. A guy with a glove blower. Indeed. So you don't have it loaded most of the time. That's kind of counterproductive. What happens if just at the moment you don't have it loaded, something happens and you need to have the bullets? Or do you have the magazine in the pocket, just in case? Do you have a loaded magazine in the pocket? Because one never knows when it's going to come in handy. Okay, let me go into my YouTube studio, and from there, let's go to create a thing over here. Let me see something else too. This is set to entertain? Yes, perfect. Just break the side and unload it. Epic. Very well, we're here, and now we're gonna write. Dun dun dun. And the soundtrack of Beacon Pines is done. Perfect. What I really love about this stream is the thumbnail I just did in a couple of minutes. Super fun. Super fun. Hello, Sayway. Welcome. What's up, everyone? Everybody that's okay. How are you doing? We're here to talk today. This is just a just talking stream. We're gonna be like this for maybe an hour. And then we're gonna play some Backbone. It's gonna be interesting. And Sophia, welcome. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Thanks a lot. So how was everyone's week this? How was your week? How was everyone's week? Let me just dress up for the occasion. Yay! I love this outfit. And my freaking beard is super fancy. I'm amazing with this one. I love it. I love what Piper Malls did with my model. Next thing is to ask him to do me a sci-fi costume. And probably a, I don't know, industrialist costume. Or cultist costume. Like with a hood and all of that. Super interesting. It's not a pirate! It's a musketeer! God damn it. Well, I kinda look like Barbosa from Pirates of the Caribbean now that I think about it. You want more pirate chef? Okay! Renaissance! Indeed, I'm for the Renaissance! But we could totally do this like a pirate chef. I can totally do it. If that is your headcanon, I'm not going to stop you. Ah, this music is so great. Musketeer chef, indeed, musketeer. I don't have a musket, but I think I have it somewhere around here. I should download that image and put it in my model for these moments. Oh boy. Ah, this stream is turning out to be great. I wish you can see it. If you are on the Discord, you can see the thumbnail in more detail. It's so great, god damn it. I knock it out of the park with that one, it's so funny. Oh my god, I love it. I love my thumbnail. I know that I'm like that, but... Be a prince of Sky Islander. Sky Islander? Sky Islander, let me see. Is that a new game that has come out and I'm not aware of? Sky Islander. No. We have Sky Island though. But the game I want to buy, but it's... I can't. I just can't. I just can't. It's super freaking expensive in my country. But the game I wanted to buy is Baldur's Gate 3. Let me see how much it costs. Baldur's Gate 3. The game that is knocking out of the park and nobody is understanding how is this even possible. I want to make like a streaming series out of it. Because it will be so good. Oh my god, but it's so freaking expensive. 17,500 pesos. 17,500 pesos. It's basically half my paycheck from Google. I still have that paycheck in my credit card. It's like it's the only money I can use. Well, I have a job. I could buy this. Instead of buying an expensive book, I could buy an expensive game. Would you like to watch me play Baldur's Gate? The new funny shiny game? Should have a hyper-realistic PNG of a musket next to the model. Indeed, that would be amazing. Let me see if I can find a PNG of a musket. 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 Oh damn it! How do you? I'm looking for it because I sure have a French mustache. Hear me out. One of the details Paima Models did was put me the French mustache. Like in the model, like the French mustache. But I don't like mustaches. I like my beard though, but I don't like mustaches. Every time I can, I razor sharp. I freaking trim it to the lowest end. But I was like, yeah, I could. Maybe I could like order there the. I could ask them the freaking I could ask them the freaking science fiction model and then ask them to make me another model of this one with the musket. I mean with the freaking mustache. Let me see, musket PNG transparent. Let's see what we have. Let me see. No, this is not the musket I'm looking for. This is not a musket that I'm looking for. I'm looking for an older musket. Give me a freaking musket of the ages. My god, you look for a musket and immediately they give you a freaking machine gun and you are like, why? I'm looking for a freaking musket. Oh. This one looks good, I guess. French enough. French enough. This is American Civil War. This is an assault musket flintlock. Yeah, this could be it. Is this a real PNG or are we looking at a fake PNG? No, it looks like it's a real PNG. Well, let's download it. Let me see if I can like download the PNG. Let's see if I can add it and I don't need to reset the whole Vtuber model and etc. Hello, Sebastian Kingo, welcome! The musket, yeah. Trigger, firearm, barrel, musket, PNG, clip bar, air gun, barrel, stock image title. I get it. But I think I found one. If it started to down low. Maybe I can download it with right click. Is it downloading? No. God damn it. Okay, let me get out of this page then. Okay, I want a... I think I found the musket, but I'm not sure if it's transparent or not. No, 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 no. All the weapons I see are revolution. God damn it! I'm looking for an all musket. Bold action, but they keep giving me AK-47s. Indeed, me too. Hello, Sebastian Kingo. How are you? How is your first day of the weekend? The days where we all rest up. They should put Friday also into the weekend, but well. Indeed, I also am looking for a musket and they give me the freaking AK-47 and I'm like, why? I'm looking for an all-day musket. I mean, one of those that don't have a bayonet, shouldn't have a bayonet. I don't need a bayonet. I don't need a bolt action rifle. I need a musket with a string, with a freaking rope on fire to light the freaking. Well, this one is actually a musketeer. I think I found one. Oh, it's for Fallout 76. Okay. Musket. Let me put 800s. PNG transparent. Let's see if we have it like in the date. Or maybe 700. And we find a musket that is from the 700s. My god, there are so many modified ones. And I'm not looking for modified. Oh! We haven't found one. Looks like it. I think I found one. I hope it's transparent. Yeah, I think I found one. The only problem is that it has a bayonet, and if I'm not mistaken, all rifles didn't have a bayonet. That's why we had swords. What happened with the... Oh god, that's scary. I don't want to do this stream again. What happened? Did I accidentally click one and I became a monster? I don't think so. The wrong face model. Probably went for... Oh my god, yeah. Sorry, I was clicking a lot of models. Look at me. Jesus. I should be back in normal. God damn it. So this thing is not... Ah, there we go. I was looking at the wrong thing. That was fun. Hello, Melon Studios. I was looking... Oh, of course, I was writing the years. And this is the thing. My numpad is the thing that I use for the different phases of the model. That I don't usually use because I'm not thinking... I need to use this numpad a lot more in order to be able to use different phases. But I always forgot. I always forget. Because I'm so focused on the game I'm playing. Melon Life Studios. Why are you a game studio, Melon Life? Welcome. And now I'm better. I'm back to normal. Luckily. 700s, nothing over here. Maybe this one will work. I hope. I'm not sure. Should be a PNG, right? Oh yeah, I think I found one. It should work. Let me see, where do I need to put them in order to be able to use them? Because if I'm not mistaken, I need to go into the thing over here. I need to go here first. Oh, have you heard about Overwatch 2 is on Steam now? Interesting choice, although the game is being hated a lot. Like a freaking lot. Look for local files, go over here. Into studio data, streaming assets, items, here they are. And then I just put the musket in it. Let me just download this image. Let me download it. Oh my god, I'm about to sneeze. Oh no. Whew, sorry, I'm back. Okay, I was looking at this weapon. Let me just put it in here. There we go. And now we go over into the... Nope. Let's go here. Okay, the musket... Ah, it's a fake PNG. It has the freaking things. It's not transparent. God damn it. Damn it. Let me see if downloading it this way, it will give me the PNG in question. Or is it going to give me all the time with the backgrounds of the little pixels? I hope not. Okay, let me go back to the stream. My face is right back. It keeps giving me R7. I just want a box of the dang Tommy gun indeed. Thank you. Is the fake PNG for the lols? No, I'm not going to do that. I want the regular old PNG. Come on, give me the freaking... Ah! Give me this weapon. I need it. Ah, don't tell me this thing is not working because I have my ad block on. Probably. Probably that's the case. Greek alphabet's in order. What? So you're talking to me like A7. Oh well. What is the wait? This is the A that you're looking at. And this. Oh my God! What the hell? This is the most elaborate captcha I have ever seen. A7TM. Can you give me the PNG now? Yeah, finally. Okay, I think I have it. Now I have it. I think I finally have it. Let's see if... Ah! Damn it. Let me see if I can finally have it. Let's go here. And from here we go to downloads, and in downloads... Yeah, here it is. Finally. Ah, it has a freaking... It has a freaking watermark. Ah, whatever, let us use it. Let me just copy it and send... Cut it, not copy it. Cut it. Actually, no, wait. Change name. Musket. And now cut it. And send it into here. And let us put it there. There we go. And let's see if it works. Let us see if it works. Ah. And now we go into my Vtuber. We go into here. Let's see if musket is over here. Come on, musket, you should be here. Put it in front of me. Medieval correction. God damn it, it's a shame that the freaking thing has this freaking... Ah! Oh, I have an idea. Can I rotate it? I should be able to rotate it, I think. I don't know how, though. Maybe if I click Control? No. If I click Alt? No. If I click Shift? No. I need to rotate it. Ah, no. Get into the trash. Damn it. A freaking musket is more difficult to get than anything else. Medieval collections, indeed, but no. The freaking watermark is out of the park. Like, I can stand a little watermark, but that is too big. That is too freaking big. Well, we're gonna need to live without the musket. Or else ask Sophie to draw us one. Sophie can draw us a musket in less than 5 minutes. In less than 2 minutes. Sophia is actually Sophia is actually the creator of this model, if you ask me. Like, yeah, I have Paima who did the rig, but the one who designed the character was Sophia. Not the current outfit. I mean the regular old outfit. This one over here. She made the PNG tuber. The all PNG tuber. really, really old, like years old. Ah, what a great thing. Okay, do you want to talk about something in particular, or I can just start rambling about what we did this week? Because this week was kind of big. We play Beacon Pines. That was a modest success, I will say. Like 15 views per stream, and usually 5 to 4 people on the stream at all times, which was great, which was big. Interesting too. Because, well, probably it was also because of the graphic novel event on Steam that is currently going. History with Chev again. Okay, we can talk about history. What period do you want to talk about? I can totally do that. You love that subgenre Steams? I love it too. I'm currently reading and trying to study. I'm trying to get back into the university, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it because I have my problems with my university. Listen, my university is a public university, and my country is super, how would you say, poison with politics, but poison to a degree that is just absurd. So you basically, if you go to university, you're going to meet up with every single party, especially on the left, that is like, couple history of Argentina. Fun fact, I don't know a lot about history from my own country. I usually don't find it interesting because it's so freaking sad. It's like everything that could go wrong went wrong. Everything. We had civil wars left and right. And none of those. Not put me this. I see it. Like all the civil wars that we had never ended up in anything good. It wasn't like the American Civil War, the North American Civil War, when they abolished slavery and unified the country under the same principles and all of that. We didn't have that. You're working like an army right now. Oh, I see. Sorry, Sophie. Keep working then. Are you working? What are you doing? Are you doing the Apple Genie? The thing is that every single civil war that happened in Argentina happened for political and economical reasons that in the end turned out to be so freaking sterile. Like, we didn't have a real thing to fight for, if you ask me. Like, we didn't. We had the port of Buenos Aires, that was the center, economic center of the country, and they were all the time so freaking greedy. Like, we don't want to share any of the profits that we made with the port and the aduana and all of that. So they basically hoarded all the resources, and the rest of the provinces were like, share it. Make this a federation. And they were like, no, this is my country. That's how they pompous they are. They're like, this is my country. I'm going to do whatever I want. So civil wars left and right for money. It was so freaking sad because we have a really greedy capital with really greedy politicians with really greedy everything, and the thing hasn't changed to this day. We are still in the same freaking basically we are in a back alley with no end in sight, with no exit. And let's us not start speaking about all the problems that Argentina has today. There are so many. It's so freaking sad. I hate it. I hate my country so freaking much. I hate it with a passion. Because nothing is looking for change. Nothing is looking at it like it's gonna change. Maybe these elections that are going to happen in the end of this year are going to change something. I hope. Because if the current guys keep clinging to power, we are screwed. But most of the people don't understand that. Because they are all basically... The problem in my country is that we are talking about modern history. World War II on a stream without getting demonetized. Basically, a crazy painter became dictator of a country that was going through some really bad shit, and that crazy painter tried to paint the world to his image and failed. Luckily for the rest of us, that's the World War II in explanation. Oh, and we can talk about too the Eastern Front, in Sosoteca. Oh, you're working in Sosoteca. That's amazing. By the way, Sophie is making a YouTube channel. It's going to be on Spanish though, but if you are interested. Crazy Painter tries to repaint the world map. Indeed, that's basically the Western Front. But the Eastern Front, I will say, Emperor that wants to be a marine biologist ends up tangled in a game of politics by military men who wants to conquer all the Pacific. And that's the Eastern Front, the Japanese front, if you ask me. That's how I will explain World War II without getting demonetized. It sounds like a novel, if you ask me, but it's the real thing. This is how the thing real went. God damn, what a horrible time to live in. That's basically World War II. Any other request? I can do this all day. I can retell everything. I'm currently, like I was saying, I'm studying before I went on a tangent about politics and how I hate those things in the public school and all of that. Basically, I'm studying the modern era. That means 15th century to 18th century, more or less 450 to 800. Savage, welcome to the stream. So I'm currently starting this reading. It's a really long reading. Hello, beauty. Hello, Savage. The thing is that school doesn't teach us anything important in our lives, in my opinion. No, it actually does, because it's not so much about the content. It's about, like, what I do need the history for. Yeah, they have a pedagogic problem about communicating why everything is useful. But the thing is that the school, yeah, you can be like, it doesn't teach me anything useful. And even when you are grown up, you will be like, it didn't teach me anything useful. But what it does, the school, what it does and why it's super important, it expands horizons. It teaches you things that otherwise you would never have learned. Even if you forget them in your 20s. The thing is that it created enough, activity in your brain to train your brain to be more intelligent, more quick, and more keen to reading. Indeed, that's the thing about school. That's why I say school is super important. Even though they fail terribly, they fail completely when talking about why you should know these things. Even though they fail completely in creating an interesting curriculum, because, well, there are some subjects that aren't going to be interesting, even if they try to make them interesting. And maybe there is something about budget, because think about it, if every school had like a big laboratory, like super big, full of all the things you need to experiment, maybe chemistry will be more interesting if you could be like experimenting about everything. But the thing is that budget is not there. We don't have laboratories, like a state-of-the-art laboratories in every school. Yet, this is one thing that I want to say about my way of looking at history and modern era. I am a humanist, and I believe humanity will improve given time. That we are constantly improving. I do not believe in the idea of progress, because that's different. I believe in chaos, and I believe in luck, in good luck, bad luck. And I believe in the collective mind of a people. The thing is that I believe that humanity will strive for betterment in the future, and in the present is currently doing so. So I believe that we will reach, not in our lifetimes, sorry about that again, sorry about that everyone, but not in our lifetime. We are currently living in the best time we can. But I think in the future people will be living also in the best time they are living. I do not believe everything will go to shit. I do not believe everything will go to hell. I actually believe that everything will improve given time. Even though we're living in a really scary time, I believe the scares are part of that process. If we focus on maintaining liberties, in maintaining the freedom, in maintaining the good governments that are currently in the world, they're few if you ask me, but they are there. If we keep giving them, I will be like, maybe we will be for a better future. That's the thing. Oh, inspired Chevalier today. Research horror and why people get scared, even though people tell me not because it will be my partner. No, horror. Horror is a genre. It's not a feeling. Fear is a feeling. So, what kind of horror are you talking about? The feeling or the genre of artistic expression? Because that's horror. If you research horror, you are researching the thing. Fear, okay. This is funny about fear. Because fear is something that emanates from the past and the present and the future. It's interesting because it's something that is like everywhere. You have fear of the future, you have fear of the present, you have fear of the past. Most of the fear you have from the past. Don't worry. Most of the fear you have from the past is because you don't want to go back to your past self. You don't want to go back to, especially, I love to fear. Indeed. Fearing fear is actually kind of interesting. It's actually an interesting dilemma. It's actually an interesting dilemma to fear. Because if you're fearing having fear, you want something else. You want to be brave. That's a thing. It's not actually a loop. A loop it will be if you will be like... Actually, having fear is a straight up thing. It's a line. Because you're fearing something. You're fearing to be scared of something, to have fear. For example, someone that is constantly positive, constantly like euphoric, will have more fear than it will have fear of something. What are we talking about? My brain hurts. I don't know. We're talking about a lot of things. Oh, the USA saying the United States of America saying that extraterrestrials are real. That is a great topic. Listen, this is something that actually is like, it's the only thing. Aliens reveal, or aliens revealing themselves, will be the only big event that could happen in our lifetimes, other than a nuclear war, but I hope that never happens. The thing is that the only thing that will be big will be extraterrestrials coming to Earth, or we uncovering, unclassifying the documents. The thing is that, yeah, they're probably real, but not the level of high intelligence. What if I told you that actually there is a real possibility that there is high intelligence? There is a lot of high intelligence, actually. Because if you think about it, I'm about to sneeze again, goddammit. Sorry, I was saying, I think there are actually a lot of aliens, species out there with high intelligence. Back, I will go with the question in a moment, Seaway, but let me think about it. Because you see, like, we won't be facing Judgment Day level of attacks from extraterrestrials. Probably, I hope. Because, listen, in order to have, like, you can have, in multiple planets across the galaxy, intelligent life forms. And when I mean intelligence, I mean that they actually, like... I'm not conspiracy, I'm actually, how do you say this? Theorizing. The thing is, there are actually high possibilities of, let's say, high intelligence capable of philosophy. Like, they're capable of introspection, of knowing the world around them, of a lot of things. The only problem is that, imagine this, you are an alien, really sophisticated culturally, but your planet doesn't have metals. Your planet is devoid of materials to wield things. You are basically Earth locked. You are locked in a planet where you don't have resources to wield a spaceship, to wield swords, to wield a lot of things. So you stick to stone, you stick to earth, you live a simple life, and you make the best of it. And you will never be able to exit your planet or create our level of technology. Same can be done with, let's say, a planet that doesn't have oil. It doesn't have oil at all, because the thousands upon thousands of things that need to happen in order to create oil in the below the earth, they are just never there. So what about them? They are screwed. They are going to go to a level of Renaissance, to a level to medieval, but they will never be able to pass that moment. But they will still be able to have sophisticated thought, sophisticated books, and a lot of those. But they will never be able to create combustion engines. They might be able to create solar panels and all of that, but that will be really difficult. But not impossible. On other places in the universe, they probably live other lives unlike us. Indeed! It's like they're locked in another time period that once happened to us. Indeed. The thing is that aliens, and I believe it's possible, because all rules, even ancient rules, are meant to be broken. So I can imagine actually some aliens that have managed to destroy physics entirely and travel across the stars in just a blink of an eye. It's just possible. It's difficult. Probably impossible. There is a probability of impossibility. But maybe they're not. Maybe it's something that they can do. Maybe they have a material that we have never heard about that enables them to basically bend space-time to their will. Who knows? It's possible? Probably? It's probably. But again, it's probably until we have certainty of it. If the US government suddenly came out in a public statement, and I'm not talking about a whistleblower, I'm talking about the freaking president, or, I don't know, the NASA coming out and saying, yeah, they're aliens, they can travel in space-time and we're screwed. That will be a moment that we will be like, okay, that's it, that's settled it, they're here. We'll suddenly have a material unknown to us that is more advantage than the materials we have. Like Jeff said, I guess. But we don't know. Maybe they have it, maybe they don't. We really don't know how far we can get if we give science a chance. A big titty god Alien Griffin. Yeah, there's a big probability indeed. There's a big probability. Savage, do not delay that message. Do not be ashamed of your kinks. You'll love it. So, yeah, for example, that's the thing. It's incredible. I read something that was like, the encounter between the aliens and the humans will have a big moment, and that will be the sex moment. It will be the moment that will break it or make it. It will be the moment that will break it or make it. The thing about that is that, like I say, life in the universe is actually more probable to happen to an animal degree. That's a real thing. The other thing that could happen, though, is that we are facing... Well, so far the whistleblowers say that... I don't remember the name of the guy. So far the whistleblower about the aliens says that the freaking aliens, they recover organic material. That is something big, because it means that the alien ships are tripulated. It will be more, and I mean a lot more scary, if they say that recover mechanic remains. Because if there is if what is out there is actually a super advanced AI that can bend time and space, and who knows who created, who knows what happened to those creators, that's the actual scary part. Like, really scary part. Because we don't know. Because hear me out. We can negotiate with other carbon-based life forms and other life form lithoids, I believe. I don't know. The thing is that we can negotiate with other sentient species. Like, for example, they came to Earth and they start negotiating, and we negotiate with them, and we come to an agreement to, let's say, share technology, share resources, maybe a war, maybe two wars, I don't know. But that's how we go. But with a machine intelligence, we are basically screwed the moment they say we are irrelevant. For example, they want the planet for its resources, let's say. And they came to the conclusion, because they are a robot and they don't have feelings, I hope they do, but if they don't have feelings, they may come to the realization that we are an obstacle, because we are consuming the resources they need, and we are, let's say, killing the planet, or we are, well, if they care about killing the planet, because if they're machines, they will not necessarily care about the biosphere. But still, if they're robots, we're screwed. Either way, unless they are like caretakers, unless the robots are like, oh god, it's like Mass Effect plot, indeed, it's like a Mass Effect. If the robots are like, we are irrelevant, we are screwed, because we will not be able to negotiate with them. What are we going to negotiate with the robots? A sense of like subject relationship. They are not going to be interested. They have made up their mind, and a robot is something that if it makes its mind, it will keep it that way. This is that their world ending and the stuff they saw in movies like Battle Los Angeles or something. It's more probable. Let's say there is an alien species, and let's, for the sake of our lives, it will care if actually there is no one out there and we are the alone in this. Yeah, if we are alone in this, that is actually more scary than anything, because it gives over our shoulders a lot of responsibility, but at the same time it will propulse us further, I will say. But I will entertain that talk in a moment. First, the machines. The thing is that if we are against machines, we are doomed. Because they will not care about anything about this planet. They will not care about the biosphere, they will not care about it. They will just bombard us from orbit and make this planet a freaking tomb. And then they will start harvesting the resources. If they are organic, and for the sake of our plot armor as human beings, let's say they are not fanatic purifiers and they are not looking to destroy all sentient life on the galaxy. If we have the luck of meeting other organic base, maybe they are of a similar government to us, maybe a little more like planetary-wide government, maybe interplanetary-wide government. Let's say a democracy or an oligarchy, maybe. Maybe they will be like feeling kinship to us and they will try to help us. If that is the mindset, maybe they are warmongers and they are just like thinking conquer, and they will just come here and destroy us, but maybe not. And if we are actually alone, that's actually another interesting thought to have. Because being alone in the universe will mean that we are the first. If we are the first, that means that there might not be other life apart from our own. In millions of years, billions of years. Maybe to the heat death of the universe. Because maybe we are just that lucky. Maybe there is like planets with microorganisms, but they never evolved beyond that. It's a thing about chaos. And maybe, if that is the case, if we, without a share of doubt, if we discover that there is no one out there, let's say the alien debris are a hoax, a total hoax, and there is nothing real about them. They were actually a freaking balloon, meteorological balloon. So, if there is no life other than humans, let's say, there is no life. We discover that there is no life in the universe. We are completely alone. Let me just go into. Give me a second. If we are talking about space and that, let me change the music. There we go. If we are talking about aliens, we need another music. There we go. This is better. Yeah. Stellaris, never the best. Never anything best. Or worse, being is worse being the first or being the last. Indeed. The thing about discovering that we are alone in the universe will mean that we need to populate it. If we want our existence to be actually interesting, if we want our existence to be actually meaningful in a galaxy scale, we need to populate the universe with life. That means maybe, hear me out, send spaceships out everywhere. This will be crazy and maybe a waste of resources, but maybe not. But send spaceships with a microfauna inside. Let's say bacteria, viruses, all of that. Or maybe insects and stuff, plants and all of that thing. Send these non-tripulated ships with this microcosmos that will reach a planet with oxygen, with water, with a magnetic field and all of that, and just leave those things in the planet. Just put the seeds to a new era on the galactic scale. Just send the ships manned with plants and insects and maybe animals, and just let them free on a new planet. That will be like, we must become the ancient aliens of our future worlds. Indeed. I think we're the first, and then we evolve. We evolve biologically, or we evolve technologically, Sophie? What is your thinking about that? Sophie is an student from biology sciences, so she will actually be able to know more about this. There is other universe other than ours, and if yes, do you believe in parallel universes? That's interesting. Earth 2 Electric Boogaloo, indeed. And now, speaking of that, yeah, like parallel universes. I have seen so many crazy shit on video to not think about that like a possibility. Like, for example, the old tales of miracles and all of that, and then we have cameras that pick up really weird shit, like ghosts, like poltergeist, like, I don't know, anything else. Maybe there are actually parallel universes that are constantly intertwined with us, with ours. Maybe, maybe not. The thing about parallel universes is almost, I say almost because they have like a scientific backing, more or less. There is like theoretical, they're all theoretical, but so is the existence of God, it's theoretical. So believing in parallel universe is basically a faith thing. It's like saying, I hope they are. Unless we can open a freaking portal to one of them, I'm not believing them dead straight, like yes, they exist. But maybe there are parallel universes. Maybe if they exist, and we can open a rift through them, maybe we can solve a lot of our problems, because imagine this. There is a parallel universe where humanity doesn't exist, but Earth does. And everything went the same except that primates never evolved. So, we just need to open a rift through time and space, get to that parallel universe, and seize the resources on the land. And we will have all our problems solved, like all of them. We will be on a post-scarce economy. There is no longer any scarcity, there is no longer any problem, because we have access to boundless, basically Earth 2 Electric Boogaloo, indeed. Basically Earth 2 Electric Boogaloo resources to get. Como especie, like a species, got it. We didn't unlock the galaxy yet, no, we didn't unlock the star yet. We can't travel to other planets with people, we didn't make it yet. Mark thinking the James Webb Deep Space thing. I never went to that web, never, and I tend to steer clear from freaking how do you say this? My God, from freaking occult thing. How do you say it? Oh my God, conspiracy. There we go. I tend to stay clear from conspiracy theories and all of that, because I think there is more in them of personal imagination, like what I'm doing here, but they try to like they try to like setting them off as facts. And that is basically what a cult does. Oh, deep space. That's just I saw it. The deep space question mark object. I actually saw it. That's just listen, the universe is chaos. If we look at it, we will see some crazy shit. Even things that to any other being will mean nothing, to us can mean something. In this case, a question mark. It just has that shape. There is an infinite amount of possibilities of an object having a space, deep space question mark, but it doesn't mean anything. It is not meant for us at all. I can tell you that is not meant for us, or to anyone for that matter. It is just like a crazy nature thing. Like, for example, the stone in Mars that resembles a face, but when investigated, it was not a face. It just looks like it because of the infinite possibilities of objects taking shape. The same thing can be said to freaking space. Galaxies can take weird shapes. Yeah, indeed, we always trying to find meanings from nothing. Indeed. The problem is that there are some really gullible people out there that will take those things that mean nothing and they will make, let's say, a religion out of it. They will make a cult out of it. They will make something negative for the rest of us out of it. Because they just saw let's say, a shooting star. They believe there are aliens and they need to, let's go for the really dark scenario here. They believe that in order to be alike with the aliens, they need to transcend this plane, and to do that, they need to commit mass end themselves. And that will be like, that's actually like, how do they end up in that situation? Easy. They end up in that situation because they all dumb as shit. Because they all believe that there is something bigger than ourselves that is constantly sending signals to us and that it wants something from us. I am a believer like Robespierre. Hear me out. No. Like, freaking, where are you, my dude? Where are you? Where is my guy? Where is my beautiful guy? Where are you? Where is my book? Voltaire. There we go. I didn't find the book, but I know the name. Unlike Voltaire in that matter, God doesn't care about us. And if he does so in such a weird freaking way that we can't even understand it. We just can't understand it and will never be able to understand it. Maybe in death, if there is a thing like a soul that transcends, like everything that we are transcends, and we are not just like, hey, game over, turn off the computer. If we are like transcending to something, that will be the only moment that we will be able to understand God. But as humans, we are unable to understand him. Unless it's super simple and it's just Christianity and that's it. No, I don't think that. I love that phrase actually. It's really good for creating artistic interpretations. But I don't think he has fear of us. I think either he has a plan for us. Let's say destiny exists. I don't believe in destiny, but let's say for a moment that destiny exists. And well, destiny exists, God created us, and he has a plan for us. What is that plan? I don't know. Maybe he created us and he just doesn't care. Maybe the future doesn't exist even for God. He created us, he sees what we're doing, and he's like, nope, it's a failed experiment, I will go and create another planet. That would be a thing. But the fact that, imagine if a God, something that can change the consistency of space-time entirely, something that can create matter out of its own thought, suddenly feared humans. The only thing that he might... Well, there is something interesting. Because maybe he doesn't fear our might. Maybe he fears our future. Maybe he fears our feelings. Maybe he's scared of what may become of us. Maybe he has actually not fallen into a sense of fear of dread. Maybe he fallen into a fear of despair. Imagine this. let's make this thought exercise. By the way, I'm a pseudo philosopher. I actually think that the how was this phrase? The mark of a clever mind is not that he thinks a lot. It's actually that he can entertain a thought without embracing it. It's the freaks. Theorizing with the Lost Chevalier, indeed. So, let's say that God is actually scared of what he created. It's the same thing that happens when you, for example, you are scared of it dying out. Let's say that God created us and he made us mortal in the beginning, and then he realized how much he loves everything on earth, but he can't revert the fact that he made us mortals, so he's actually fear of our death. He fears our constant death and rebirth, and he's like, I'm scared, I don't want to do anything with this, what have I created? I feel so sad and so despair. So he retracted out of our world. That would be interesting. That would be super interesting. And yes, Savage, I saw your message. Today, I have the chat open, because I don't have to be looking at the game. So I saw everything. Every god will be scared of our search history. That's why we use incognito. The thing is that... yeah, interesting theorizing here. I love it. I love to talk about aliens and such. It's super fun. Super mega fun. I can be talking about like this for hours because it's so freaking fun. I think I'm going to cancel the game that I was going to play and we will just keep talking. The game will be on Monday. But yeah, I love theorizing. For example, Voltaire believed in a god that wasn't that didn't care about us, but not because he didn't care, but because we can't understand it. And he was all out against religion, all types of religion. He was someone who strived for understanding between the faiths, one would say. I should just say, abortion is not an answer, and adoption is the key. No! Yeah, chatting with more. Yeah, indeed. What's adoption? I don't wanna know. Oh boy. It's funny how we... this is a controversial topic, but I have like a sort of an opinion on it. I believe in technology. Me personally, I believe in technology, even in AIs, even though I think we are using them for the wrong things. But I think using it for the wrong things is a good way to like... adopting an aborted fetus. Oh my god, no, that's terrifying. The thing is that, like I was saying, I believe in technology. I believe that, for example, AI will be big in the future. It will help us take decisions in our life. Maybe it will help us having more fulfilling lives. It will help us maybe govern ourselves better with a cold-headed machine thinking about for us, for example. I believe in AI, but I also believe in genetics. I don't believe in eugenics, because eugenics is another thing entirely, I believe. Eugenics is more like it's more of a, as far as I understand it, it's more of a racist thing. It's more of a racist, it's more it was like an early way of trying to create the perfect human being. It was terrible. That thing gave birth to the freaking Germany of the 20th century. That was the place of eugenics to its maximum exponential thing. It was the worst place ever to live in. You needed to be a freaking Aryan. You needed to be blonde hair, blue eyes, small figure, all of that. That's such a stupid thing. But I believe, for example, in genetic manipulation for the well-being of future humanity. For example, let's say, I don't know why we can't have more like laboratories that specialize in vitro procreation. I believe that in vitro procreation is something good. For example, I have a friend that has a past of having family members with Down syndrome, right? It's a really scary thing. And the thing is that she wants to have only one baby in her lifetime, and that baby, if it comes out that it's like it has like different abilities, one would say it's different, it's not going to like survive, or it's going to have like a really difficult life, she wants to get it aborted. It's really a terrible thing to talk about. But that's what I was thinking, like, why aren't we allowed to have in vitro procreation, right? There's already a laboratory, I believe, in Germany or in another place from there in that part of the world, in the north, that is currently doing in vitro procreation. They pick up the sperm, they pick up the ovule, and they basically make them go together and be like, they will make your baby look like you want and all of that. That's like, I would say, like character creation, what we say in the video game. They, for example, they say, I want the boy to have my eyes, I want the boy to have her hair, something like that, and they tweak the genes to make it look like that, and they will basically deliver a healthy baby. And I was thinking, why can't we have that? In order to reduce the problems at birth, in order to reduce a lot of other problems, we could totally do a little of thing. We could actually invest in that technology and make it better and more affordable and more humane, one would say. It would be interesting. Making test tube babies. Yeah, indeed. There is like a really like taboo around it, but at the same time, it's like, I believe it's the next step in human evolution to be able to, like, I would not say control who is going to burn, who's going to be born to this world, but rather having a healthy offspring. It will not, I believe it will not change anything evolutionary, because the body, ourselves, will be still believing that we're doing babies the traditional way. So, for example, this is not something that will lead to, for example, only test tube children to be able to born because all the other babies are not being produced. It is not going to create a scenario where, for example, men don't produce more sperm or women don't produce more ovules because they don't need it, they create it in the laboratory, I believe. I don't know how evolution works, evolution is weird. But that will create, actually, a really healthy generation of kids, if you ask me, and maybe even a healthier generation of parents, because they will have, like, all the stress of having a baby removed, of not having a baby, of, like, not having a baby, because they having a baby, they will still need to do it. The baby is not being nurtured in an artificial womb, but they will have, like, less fear of what the outcome would be, right? I believe. This is theorizing, of course. Do not take anything of this like the word of a scientist. I'm just a regular man talking about what I think. But that will be the thing. And it's not like we are removing the chance to, like, have babies the traditional way. We are just adding another option to those who have, like, medical defects, medical problems, hereditary problems, and stuff like that. They can just, like, circumnavigate that problem and create a baby that is quote-unquote normal, quote-unquote. Remember the quotes. I'm not saying that other humans are not normal. I'm just saying, like, quote-unquote. It's what everyone believes, not me. But that would be interesting. I believe that that's something that humanity should try to, like, understand better. Not shun it, because it's not making any harm, if you ask me. And the thing will still be in the hands of the people, so no problem in that. It's not like the government will go and say, now every children will need to have blue eyes and yellow hair. It's the law. It's not going to happen. We are not going to let that happen. As a species, we are going to fight against it if that is remotely something that is possible. But the thing is that we are not going to create clones out of this. We will still have mom and dad who create the baby, but in the intermediary we have a laboratory that will make sure the baby comes out okay, with zero problems, zero mutations, zero anything. And maybe with that habit, with that thing, but that's the thing. That's when I start when the problem starts. There is a good YouTuber that I follow, a really good thinker called Dross. He's a really good YouTuber. He is a really interesting YouTuber. He is from Venezuela, but he lives in Argentina. The thing is that he was saying that science needs boundaries, right? We need the governments, all the things need to put boundaries on things, and that's okay. But at the same time, the most dark moments in our history, in our modern history, World War I, World War II, were the moments of discovery regarding medicine. And that is because, what are we talking about now? I don't know, the same stuff as before, don't worry. The thing is that the worst thing that happened in humanity, for example, the Nazi experiments, the freaking Japanese experiments on prisoners of war and all that, they created a lot of scientific breakthroughs. It was terrible. If we could go back in time, I think we will stop them, even if it means sacrificing those breakthroughs for those breakthroughs, because they were terrible. But the thing is that if we lifted all the limitations on technology, all of them, imagine that, human experimentation becomes the norm. Creation of new production methods that will get everybody out of their job, it becomes the norm. And all of that, let's imagine for a moment that is a possibility. I hope never is. But happens. Technology will have a freaking growth. It will be crazy. It will be like, boom! Up there. It will get us more closer either to a dystopia or to an utopia, but it will go somewhere. The thing is that is terrible. For example, there was a man, literally half of sci-fi, indeed. The thing is that, for example, there was a man, Sophie told me about it, then I saw it in a video. There was a man who believed that he was a scientist, and he believed that he could bring back a human or any being back to life if it was recently deceased. This was in the 900 and something. I believe 46 or 68, I'm not sure. The thing is that the scientific community, obviously, when they hear, bring me a fresh human corpse and I will bring it back to life, they were like, you're crazy, we're not going to let you do that. What's the thing? He was able to do that with dogs. And he freaking succeeded. He bring dogs back to life. They were recently deceased, and he, just moving the dog back and forth, managed to get them back to life. But hear me out, it wasn't a good life. The thing is that he managed to bring them back to life because he was a believer that if I made the circulatory system function again, if I just move the dog around with a chair, with a column like a seesaw, if I make it move, it will reactivate the neuron system, the brain. That was his theory. So he grabbed some dogs recently deceased, and he succeeded. The mad lad succeeded just by moving the dog. No electricity involved, no chemistry involved, nothing of those caliber involved. He was able to bring them back to life. And you are like, holy shit, what will happen if he do that to humans? The problem was that the dogs that came back to life made so with a lot of mental problems. The neurons didn't work exactly well. They were back to life, quote unquote, but it was a terrible life. The dogs died soon, they were not able to walk, they were alive, they were alive. They will eat, they will drink, but they will have a ton of problems, and they will not live a week or a month. They will only live a week or a month longer. The experiment is fascinating because it shows that, well, that's possible. But at the same time, it's terrible because we are like, what the hell? What are you thinking? But at the same time, you are like, wait, that actually opens a lot of questions about our circulatory system and our brain. If we can do that, maybe we could like take away a brain from the body, put it in a bubble and make it work. Maybe, who knows? But the thing is that the experiment is terrible. All our sensitivity, all our sensible brain matter, unless you are a psychopath, thinks that is terrible. But that's the thing. Scientists, science is cold. It's mathematics. It's basically mathematics. You go around thinking mathematically. You don't think about the consequences too much. In a spiritual or emotional way. Because this guy, I bet, wasn't thinking about the problems the dog went through. He was thinking just like, it succeeded. His mathematical equation, bear fruit. He was like, move dog left and right, left and right, left and right until the blood kickstarts the neural system again. It freaking worked. What else can we say? It freaking worked. Do they live after? Do they die after? That's completely that's a thing. That's another thing entirely. No, he didn't want the popularity. He wanted to prove his theory. That's a lot of thing about modern era, actually, the modern era society. We see everything of people thinking about popularity, when most of the time scientists, especially scientists, wants to prove their theory to be true. And they will go to any lengths to do so. If they could. If there were regulations on hand, you will see a ton of what we call quote-unquote mad scientists running around, making human experiments on third world countries, making animal experiments on first world countries, and all of that will be possible. It will be terrible, but possible. And maybe we will see advances in medicine beyond our wildest dreams. But at what cost? But at the same time, does the cost outweigh the benefits in this case? It's a really ethical question that we are constantly asking ourselves as a species. As a thinking, rational species. Like, is it worth it? Or is it not? Do we put the feelings on top of the mathematics? How much is a human life worth? Indeed, maybe a human life is worth as much as the person is willing to give it. For example, take a person who says, I don't want to live anymore. I will donate my living being to science. What happened in that case? Does a human life is like set by your government, set by your religion, set by yourself? Who sets the price on a human life? The government wants your human life because they see a taxpayer, they see a potential soldier, they see a potential cultural icon. They see your potential. That's what a government looks. Your religion puts a price on you based on your transcendence, and God gives value. And one person can actually have different values. For example, what happens if someone wants to sell their organs? It's shunned in most countries, almost everywhere is shunned. The idea of you saying, I want to sell my kidney because I want the money, and I can live with only one. Why do people need to go like that's not allowed? What will happen if he goes like, yeah, I want to do it? I can see the problem in people forced to do it. But the thing is that maybe one person can actually like say how much their life is worth. Maybe they want to donate themselves to science. They go to a human experiment lab and they say, I want to donate me. You can filter anything properly. Indeed, indeed, indeed. The worth is something so subjective, but I'm glad it's there. I'm super glad it's there. For example, in ancient Rome. Ancient Rome had a different view on suicide than we do. They didn't see it like something bad, like something negative. They even have freaking philosophers, let's say pseudo-psychologists, that will go into your home when you were like doubting of your own existence, and they will say to you, yeah, kill yourself. And you were like, yeah, that sounds pretty good, let's do it. That was something that the ancient Romans did. They have a different view on the world. If you were too old, if you were suffering, why don't end it all? Right? That was the way of thinking. See how different we are today. I will not say that we have come a long way, because it's subjective. Everything is subjective. Like, what happened to terminal patients that are suffering a freaking lot and they want to just end it because they have a chronic pain, because their sickness is slowly taking away their brain functions? What happened to them? What is keeping them from just ending it all and just be free of that? Why do we need to force someone who doesn't want to experience, let's say, memory loss, chronic pain in every limb, pain in every bone? What happened to them? Why can't they just say, fuck it, it's the end, let's rush the end just a little bit? And we don't do it that because we still believe in miracles, and this is more important than miracles if you ask me, we believe in science, because this is a reality. We don't know what's on the other corner. Maybe this person that decided to end it all was a week ago from getting the treatment he needed, because a new scientific tested and scientific proven treatment was there to save it. That's the only reason that we keep people alive, is because we have the faith, we have the hope that we will be able to heal them before they die. That's the reason that we still keep them alive, I think. Because there is some cases when they keep alive someone and you say this is torture and this is not human. It happens. But at the same time, we are always there. We have always the faith on science, and I love the faith on science, that things will get better. For example, have you seen Sideshow or Crash Course? It's a beautiful documentary series that goes around various subjects, and the good part. Hear me out. Not the good part. One of the brothers has cancer, but it's treatable. And he made a video saying that I didn't saw it yet. I was going to see it, but I didn't because I'm lazy and I completely forgot. But he made a video saying that cancer treatment is going to be better in the future because scientists have made a lot of discoveries. That's something incredible. That's something great. I love freaking... I hate cancer. It's the worst thing ever. It's evolution kicking us in the face. Because what is cancer if another way of evolution? Just your cells changing, mutating, but mutating in a way that will destroy you. But the cell it's not at fault there. The cell just being created and started doing its new function. The only problem is the new function is killing you. And I can't believe we managed to harness the power of radiation to help us out. It's freaking incredible. Freaking incredible that we have managed to do that. Cancer has a mind of its own. Yeah, indeed. The thing is that, luckily, we were able to harness the power of radiation. Can you believe that? Radiation for us, not for energy, not for weapons, but to heal. Something that will generally kill you helps you out to fight the worst disease imaginable. The end game. The freaking end game is cancer, and we have this incredible technology, this incredible knowledge that allows us to harvest that power and save our asses most of the time. It's just something incredible. And then we have surgery. Surgery wouldn't be able to be done without the horrible things that happen during surgery. For example, there is this what was his name? God damn it, I'm bad with names in history, and I'm trying to be. I tried in the past to be a historian. Well, that's basically why it didn't pan out. But there was a great Roman surgeon in the past. He basically helped us understand the freaking nervous systems. And how did he do that? Cutting pigs alive. He was able to cut the exact nerve on the nervous system of a pig to let the pig still alive, but devoid of all the other functions. He was also the one who realized, hey, if I hit a person's back in certain points, it will break certain things and it will make them go flat from the waist down or a little up. It was incredible. That guy revolutionized medicine. But that guy did some terrible things to animals in particular. I don't believe in humans, but we don't know. It was incredible. Then came Christianity and everything went to shit. I have a whole book over here, The Darkening Age by Catherine Nixie. I have read it twice. It's a book about early Christianity and how they destroy the classical world, and basically all the science things that the classical world had in store. Because the classical world was super scientific. It was going to have a scientific revolution if it wasn't for Christianity and their world and the way of looking at things. I will never say that if Christians never existed, we would be living in like a super technological era like all the other people. There is a lot of misconception about how technology works and how technology functions. I don't like the idea of thinking that because of one tiny little detail, like Christianity in this case, the rest of the world went down a drain pipe. I don't believe that. It was just a different way of looking at the world. It was not compatible with a lot of other ways of looking at the world. And the thing was that, well, the result was terrible. We can see it now from the future, but at the same time, it's like, hey, it happened for a reason. Maybe people needed that. Maybe not, but maybe they did. For example, if someone ever comes with the alternative history, scenario saying, if Christianity didn't existed, we will be living in a sci-fi world. You can go around and say to them, yeah, the Chinese were around, I don't know how much, like 5,000 years. They have the most long-lived experiment, the most long-lived government in Earth, but they never developed a freaking car. They never developed a freaking computer in all that time, and they didn't have Christianity to worry about. The Japanese also, the freaking Aztec, the freaking Maya. Technology just doesn't go like that. Technology, until our current era, was something that was going slow. Hello, Bones! I wasn't able to be on your stream, so sorry, but I was dead asleep. We are talking about a lot of things. We're basically theorizing a lot of things. It's super fun. The thing is, I was saying, if you have someone who comes around and says to you that it was the fault of Christianity that everything went to shit, you can say that, no, we're not talking about religion. That's not a thing. We're talking about history. And the way religion influences it. It's different. Talking about religion will be the fact of talking like God doesn't exist because I don't believe in it and I want an atheist. That will be talking about religion. Or talking about the tenets of Christianity, or the tenets of Muslim, or the tenets of Shintoist, or stuff like that. But we're not doing that. We are talking about fictional scenarios regarding religion and the regular thing about it. So we're not talking about religion. No. But the thing is that partial listening, don't worry. You were playing Resident Evil Village, the new one? Oh, Resident Evil Village. Wow, that's amazing. Ah, that's a great game. I love it. I saw it everything on YouTube because I wasn't able to buy it, but it was really good. It is really good. Like I was saying, the freaking scenario that a lot of authors pan out. They say like, without Christianity will we be in a glorious era. I don't believe it. I can agree to some things that happen because of Christianity in the history of mankind, but I can't agree with the idea that will be technological advance. Maybe, just maybe, we will live in an industrial era, or maybe we will live in a renaissance, eternal renaissance. Eternal progress in the map in terrible with games like those, because of the scares or because of the mechanics. Which one of the two are your problem, Bones? So yeah, that's actually super interesting topic to talk about. I love alternative history. It's super fun to play with. Like, for example, what will have happened? I always talk about making like, why did you get to the mansion? Oh yeah, Lady Dimitrescu will be a pain. Alicia Horvat, welcome, Ali. Alhas. Hello, new viewer. Welcome to the stream. We are talking about alternative history now. I would love, like I was saying, I would love to do alternative history videos. The only problem is that I don't feel I have the tools to make an alternative history video, and I don't think I have the editing power to make a video of that caliber. Limited can be a pain if she's exactly what I want to see. Oh, that's right. Oh my god, Bones. That's great, actually. Slovenian. So it's how to pronounce. How do you pronounce it? I want to know now. But interesting. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. So I really wanted to like make alternate history and stuff like that, but I don't have the editing skills. I do not know how to edit, and hiring an editor is freaking expensive. And when I mean freaking expensive, I mean horrendously expensive. And I can't commission anyone in dollars, so I'm screwed in that front. If I could, I will totally do it. I will totally hire an editor, but I don't have the money. The thing is that I would love to make alternative history. I think I know a bit of history to be able to like create another scenario. And the fact is that say hi for the vampire concubines for people. Oh, for me too. I actually love all the vampires in that game. Narrate yourself. Yeah, I know. The thing is that I can narrate it. I can do it. I can totally do it. But the thing is that I don't know how to make a video editing that is interesting. Like, for example, I could tell you what would have happened if I don't remember the name now. The Roman Emperor that wanted to recreate the Roman Empire, the Byzantine Empire, that wanted to recreate the Roman Empire succeeded, for example. I will be getting a new laptop in the next few days too. Oh, that's amazing! You will be able to make streams through your laptop? That would be great to see. That would be great to see indeed. The thing is that, for example, if that Roman Emperor, let's say, managed to unify the Roman Empire again, and he for some reason managed to hold it, which will be like super important, super complicated, and I will say almost impossible, but let's for the sake of the scenario say that he can. He recreates the Roman Empire and he basically managed to do a lot of things. The only problem will be that he will need to introduce the monetary system back into those provinces. He will need to reintroduce taxation to those provinces. He will need to reintroduce urban living standards. He will need to reintroduce... I can think of all the problems with that scenario. That's what makes it, what makes it almost like impossible to create. See, I can do that. I can actually like create scenarios out of the, let's say, the things that will be difficult to do. But for the sake of he's able to do it, he will have created, if he can overcome regional thinking, like for example, I'm from okay, Bones, see you soon. If he will be like able to create a super big country, that will be great. That will have been great. That will be like a really big country. Instead of France, we will have freaking super mega Rome, Byzantium, the country of Byzantium. The thing is that freaking that's a thing, right? Because nationalism, like we understand it, the fact that you are Philippine, I'm Argentinian, and all of that, is a recent development or digressment. I don't know, one of the two. Like go back or forward, I don't know. But nationalism, as we understand it, is something new. Before, you will have regional thing, like for example, someone saying, and you might have a pan cultural group, but the thing was that you were from a particular city and you were identified as that particular city rather than your country. The idea of identifying first as your country and second as your city is rather new. Wasn't it prominent during World War I? It was. Nationalism wasn't the first problem during World War I. It was one of the detonants, if you look at it from a society perspective. Nationalism was the main problem for World War I. Then it came in World War II and it freaking blew up of proportion. But in World War I, there was a lot, and I mean a lot, of national pride. You were French, you were English, you were German, you were Italian, you were Austro-Hungary, you were an Ottoman, you were a Russian. Well, Russia, it was a backwater country, so there wasn't actually like too much of a thing there, but there was a little. But that was one of the main reasons why they never give up. It was national pride on stake, and pride was more important than lives and resources. It was crazy. So they went all out in that war. World War I was thought to be the war that would end all wars. It just created a worst war. And the fact why they created a worst war was actually because of the president of the United States getting sick with the Spanish flu. Because you will see, according to one documentary I saw once, that president wanted to not put Germany in the line of fire, like in the line of reparations. Like the Allies, France, England, they were like bitter rivals with Germany. And when I say bitter, it was freaking savagery. So they went to the negotiation table. For example, have you seen All Quiet in the Western Front? Have you seen the scene when they are all sit down at the table, at the negotiation table, and the French are freaking barbaric in their demands? And you are thinking like, what the hell are they doing? They had the chance to sign the treaty there and end the war, but they were like, the end of the war will be in the 7th day of the 7th year in the 7th hour, because it's symbolic. And they close the watch and you are like, what the fuck are you talking about? More people are going to die. And they just did it. And you are like, I hate the French now. Oh, you came out of that movie saying, I hate the French. The thing is that, well, you have the freaking war on the one hand and nationalism on the other. And the thing was that when the war ended and they were all sitting at the table negotiating, there was the president of the United States that was like the savior of the Allies because he came at the last minute. You have the book. That's amazing. Have you read it? It must be an amazing read. Freaking Germany in the World War II prohibited that book because of how anti-war it was. So it must have done something really good. The thing is that the freaking governments of England, of Germany, all of those, were so bitter in the rivalry with Germany that they wanted to see them fall and never get back. They wanted to see them destroy, like some medieval quarry, like some medieval battle. Sitting on my shelf back home, I never had the chance to read it. You should. They say it's a beautiful book. The thing is that they wanted to destroy Germany. The USA, according to the documentaries I saw, came to the negotiation table, and having the weight of having won the war, they were like, nope, there are not going to be any war reparations out of this. Obviously, the French and the Englishmen were like, what are you saying? And he was like, you all, the president was like, you all had a part to play in this. You are all equally culprit on this life loss and everything. So what we're going to do is to create a great Europe. We're going to create a lot of countries that are going to be prosperous, and they're going to learn from the mistakes from this war. Then that president got the Spanish flu. You know, the basically COVID-19, 1914, basically. So he had the Spanish flu, and he had to be rushed to the hospital, and he was interned, and he was in the intensive care and all of that. And then, having all the Englishmen and the French on the negotiation table, they were like, you're gonna pay us an astonishing amount of money, and you're never going to get up from it. That's basically what created the second problem of the century, the rise of Nazis and all of those. Because you have a really poor country that was prior to that great, and they were like, everybody was hating the French and the Englishmen. The guts of them, they wanted to destroy them. So they basically created the turmoil that will shook the mid-century later. It was all because of greed and just bitter rivalry. Disregard for human life, disregard for humanity as a whole. Instead of everyone going forward and learning from their past mistakes and thinking, hey, maybe we all had a part to play in this freaking war. Maybe we all did the wrong here. Maybe we can all learn. Maybe we can all become part of a big thing and just stop trying to kill each other. Instead of that, they went all like, let's destroy each other. Let's destroy the enemy. Oh, hello, the Universal Book. Welcome. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for coming. I put it will have happened if the funny Australian man just could draw people right. The Austrian man just could draw people right, indeed. Indeed. We will have had probably a really xenophobe painter in our world art history, but yeah, that would have been funny. Like, what are we talking about? We are talking about now about history, more particularly World War II and World War I. We are talking about some of the nationalism and all of that. History in general, actually. We go back to Roman times from time to time. I was a student of history in university. I'm currently not a student in history, but I really am, actually. I have the book over here. I'm trying to get it to pass an exam, but still. So the thing was that, imagine if the guy could have paint. Imagine if the guy would have been like accepted in the art academy. That would have been interesting. Interesting indeed. We will have a really xenophobe painter in world art history, but I don't think. Well, there is a problem though with that way of thinking, and is to think that he alone was the source of the problem, when him and all around them, all the satellites, all the horrible people, the horrible scientists, all of them talked about the same problem, but they basically gravitated towards him because he was the spokesperson. But those persons will never cease to exist. So maybe we will not have a freaking Austrian as a depressed artist in the throne of Germany at the time. But maybe we'll have one of the others, because there were many of them. But yeah, there is a lot of him about his magnetism that nobody would have been able to, like, recreate, right? Nobody would have been able to do that. He was really good at talking with people. He was really good at manipulating people. But the fact is that without him, there is no freaking guarantee that the thing wouldn't have happened the same, or in a different scale. The devil we know and such, yeah, indeed. Because there were a lot of people involved in the freaking killing of everyone in the Germany of that time. It was a terrible time to be alive, but evil people were actually around, and they gravitated towards the greater evil. That's the thing. Maybe they would have never been able to organize as the guy managed to do. I don't want to say his name, the funny painter, but because of YouTube monetization and all of that. But the thing is that the evil people will still be there. Mengele and the other ones that I don't remember the names, but there were a lot. They will still have existed. Maybe to a small scale, but they will still be a thorn in everyone's side. The only way to stop them from spreading would have been a more humane treaty of Versailles. No, Versailles. No, Versailles, no. I'm sorry, I said about the wrong thing. Like, the only way to stop all of that from happening would have been to not take Germany to the poverty that it was in. Like, try to, like, instead of disperse guilt and disperse hatred and make everyone hate each other because of the war reparations and all of that, it would have been better, maybe, if they will just, like, dispense prosperity, just, like, share prosperity with everyone. Everyone lost so much in that war. All the families broken by that conflict. They were all one and the same. For fuck's sake, in Christmas, the freaking Englishmen and the freaking Germans were all playing football together. The miracle of Christmas. And when they tried to replicate it later, they had to have the generals and all the like basically sending people to jail, basically correcting them with punishment, because they wanted to stop the war. The people just wanted to stop the war. Why were they didn't want to fight. Nobody wanted to fight. Nobody wants to kill another human being. It's just not in our nature. Everybody says you that in our nature is the killing. No, the killing is just an excuse by really powerful people who want to be more powerful. The storyteller by Jody Picoult, but also tells the history of the press during that era. Indeed, there is like the people of Germany during the time of the Nazi regime. I'm gonna say the Nazi regime were so freaking oppressed. Book burnings. Ace of Clubs, welcome. I'm not booking it, but I think it's a pretty good read. Indeed, probably it is. The thing is that book burnings, academic censorship. You had like brilliant scientists going around and saying to the German people, like, there is not such a thing as a perfect race. And then the government came along and sent them all to concentration camps, to workforce, to work labor, to forced labor, because they were not saying the freaking their freaking agenda. That's the thing, right? And there was a scientist, I saw it in a documentary, there was a Nazi scientist that said that the sun was cold. Can you freaking believe that? A scientist saying, no, the sun is actually cold because of blah 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 blah, and things that you hear and you say, that's stupid. How? And you are like brought to this horrible period in where the freaking academics and all the freaking scientific advances were thrown to the freaking under the freaking bus because of one guy wanting to kill all the Jews and the Hittites and all the other people. There was when you hear about World War II, you need to hear that the victims were a lot of people, not only the Jews. For example, there was the silent genocide. The silent genocide, it was when the Germans will kill, without their parents knowing, all the children deemed unfit. Mentally challenged, physically challenged, all of that, they will kill them in secret. It was terrible. They will just grab the babies, they will take them to intensive care, saying that they have a complication and they die of pneumonia. Obviously, once the problem was big enough and the parents started to realize that this was happening, they were like, just as a polygon accent, indeed. And the thing was that then the people were like, hey, something is happening with our babies, this is not normal. This was committed against German people, not the ones that they wanted to kill. This was committed against their own people. And their own people realized about that, and they managed to close the program, sort of. Probably if they will stay in power, they will try to do it again, but the thing was that the program was shut down. And yeah, the Polish annexing, they had such a backwater way of thinking, the Nazis and all the like. They were like, we need to conquer more land, to send our people to those lands, to live better lives. Why don't you try to make better lives in your own country, you freaking freak? But they did it. They went to the Polish. They were starting to displace the Polish and all the people that they deem unfit, that they deem unworthy of living. It was just a terrible thing. Just such a freaking terrible thing. It's funny because the biggest game in history, until now, about World War II, Hearts of Iron 4, doesn't touch on these subjects that were so freaking important for the time. I don't know, they say they will never touch the Holocaust, probably because of one reason, and I understand why they did this, why they concentrate on the war and get completely like, not talk about the people involved and just the weapons. And I think I know why. It's because they fear that a lot of anti-Semites and all of that will buy the game, play as Germany, and do the atrocities they did and succeed. And just like be happy and have gratification by killing people. That's why they didn't do it. But at the same time, you have Stellaris, a game of science fiction, that goes around these subjects. It actually goes head on. You can have slavery, you can have Holocaust, extermination and all that. But they do it in a way of science fiction, so it's allowed. It's still a terrible thing, but it's interesting. Could you make the argument that's going to happen regardless? Yeah, indeed, it actually happens regardless. There are people who are probably Nazis, neo-Nazis, playing Hearts of Iron 4 as Germany because they want to see Germany succeed, because they believe in their eugenics and in their freaking Holocaust agenda, right? It's going to happen anyway. People are going to play and do that anyway, but why try to like water down something so important to human history instead of giving us the tools to actually stop them? Like, for example, when I'm playing a game like, let's say, Stellaris, that has genocides, space genocides, they are like allowed, I don't know why, because it's a fantasy setting. The thing is that in that game, when I never play a Fanatic Purifier by choice. Fanatic Purifier are basically space Nazis. They are basically they're going to exterminate everyone. I don't play them by choice. I play all the time on random species, so sometimes I land on that role. And it's funny because when I play those roles, I have two sides in my head. One of them is like, yeah, let's exterminate everyone. And the other side is like, please stop me. It's incredible. It's incredible how we can like empathize with that sort of like negative nature of humanity. At the same time, we know not in our sane mind will allow it to happen. It's fantasy. Fantasy is another thing regardless. Why they don't want us to play a fantasy in World War II, I don't know, because super important to actually understand the way of thinking of these people. Like, why did they do it? How did they do it? For example, in the end of the world, they cranked the freaking... I was going to say open. They... Oh, cool boy noise. I don't know who you are, but if you hate me, I have no problem with that. The thing is that if we have this freaking if we have this freaking chance of seeing and understanding why they do it, we can actually understand how to stop it, how it creates, how it forms in the freaking mind of people, right? It's really important to be able to understand both the mind of the killer and the mind of the victim, because that way we can actually try to stop the victim, the murder. That's why when we study history, we had a part. I was going to do an essay on the genocide. I didn't do it. I had my problems, mental health, and all of that get in the way, etc., etc. And other things, work, all of things, everything cahoots to make that impossible for me to do. The thing is that when I was reading, for example, the Armenian genocide or the Holocaust, it was a thing that you needed to understand from the point of view of the murderers, not only from the victims. You needed to understand both points of view. It was important, super important, because, you know, to understand one is to understand the other. You don't need to like sympathize with the murder at all. Like, how the hell are you going to sympathize with freaking genocide? It's just not a thing that happens. You can understand the reasons, like economic, like social, and all of that, but you cannot sympathize with them. If you do, you need to like rethink about yourself. Like, you need to think about it more. But there should be the understanding it. Yeah, indeed. Damn, this stream turned out to be freaking dark, my dude. I love it though. I love to talk about like, how do you say this? Like, freaking like gray areas talking. I like to talk to all of you like adults. I don't like to be like family friendly necessarily, because I like to talk to all of you like adults. Like, we all can talk about these subjects that are difficult, that are hard, that are hurtful, but we can all understand that those things need to be talked about. If we don't talk about them, we actually have a very high chance of repeating them. That's another thing about repeating it. Let me go around this. I have seen in the... I saw a thread in Twitter about the Armenian genocide. And I was reading it. And then I read the comments. My mistake. I shouldn't have done that. But I read the comments, and basically everyone was saying, oh, this happened again in Germany because history is a circle. And I was like, no, history is not a circle. History is never a circle, and that's a myth. Everyone believes that the history is a circle because they want to have a control over it. But it's not. History is always a line. It's chaos. It only exists the present and the past. The future is something completely different. It's a noble. Probably. The thing is that history is never a circle, and whoever says you that, it's not an historian at all. It doesn't have an understanding of how history actually works. History is just a line, and it's chaotic in nature. it is never going to behave as you want it to behave. That's why alternative history is such a something that I like, but I don't find realistic at all. It's just pure fantasy, like pure fantasy, because we really don't know. Maybe, for example, the idea that this emperor of Roman times managed to reclaim the western half. He died of a heart attack a day later. Who knows? We really don't know. We don't know the ramifications. We don't know anything. It's just chaos. Absolute chaos. That's history for you. The only thing that is constant is the past, because it already happened. And it can never happen again. Ever. No matter how close the freaking resemblances are. History is a fantasy. I can't even remember what I had dinner last night. Indeed. History can teach us lessons. Like really important lessons about ourselves. For example, the Holocaust. We currently try to avoid another Holocaust no matter what the consequences will be. And that is good. It's a shame that it had to happen for us to realize, hey, maybe killing people is bad. But still, the thing is that it existed and we are trying to avoid another one of those. And that is good. For example, if the history is a cycle, where are my the visitor is amplifying this. Indeed, if the history is really a cycle, where is my sea people? Where are our sea people of the 21st century? Come on. They have been there for a long time, waiting for their return, and I don't see them. Where is the sea people that destroyed the Bronze Age? Where are the sea people that are going to destroy the Modern Age? Are they going to be the aliens, maybe? That will be chaotic, actually. It will not be something of the history repeating itself. Where is my second Viking era? My third Viking era? One in here? I don't see it happening again. Where is the French Revolution? It should have happened again. In every other country, but it should have happened again. It's not happening. Where is my second Soviet Union? There is nowhere to be seen. History is not a cycle. Do not be afraid of history and do not be afraid of the future. Future, history, and all of that is a line. A chaotic one. It is a line from the present. The present marks its point. And from where it goes from there, it's a mystery. So do not be afraid of history, do not be afraid of the future. You can be worried about the future, but never be afraid of it. People tend to change things. We tend to hit the brakes when something is going out of control. Sometimes we don't, sometimes we do. For example, the freaking painter, the Austrian painter, had so many assassination attempts. He survived every single one of them, by sheer luck, by sheer chaos. But the thing is that they tried to kill him. Like, there were people thinking, hey, this is out of control. Yeah, nobody wants a second Soviet Union, indeed. Nobody wants that, except my freaking communist peers. In Argentina, we have the universities are plagued with communism. Plague, I tell you. It's something terrible. That's why I don't go to university that much. That's why I'm not going to be able to do the career, to finish the career. It's because every single person in there is a communist. A communist, an anarchist, they're even like, they don't know it. They don't think about it. But if they could, they will make a genocide against rich people. And think it's okay. It the rich to another whole level. But they will totally do it. They will totally kill thousands upon thousands just to get to their perfect utopia. And that is just so horrible way of thinking. But that's the thing with my universities, plagued with freaking zealots. Communist zealots. People from the left that believe that every means necessary, it's actually like worth it. They're just crazy as hell. And that's why I don't like university here in Argentina at all. Because they really want to hammer you down. It's like entering into a cult. Someone dies, for example, there was something happened last 2 days in my country. There was a manifestation in the obelisk of people from the left that didn't want the new elections to be held because everything in the encuestas, in the polls and all of that says that the right is going to win this election. So far, they say that the right is going to win this election and it's going to be a change in government. So they went along and they burned one of the voting. They burned a makeshift voting pool, and of course, this isn't a friend against the Constitution. So the police force intervened, and one of the protesters started to hit the police with a pole. The thing is that protester had a heart attack, and immediately all the left in my university went like, "That's a killing, and we need to stand up to it. This is terrible, and it should be punished. The police should all be in jail," and stuff like that. And I'm like, what the frick is happening? The guy had a heart attack. It could happen anywhere. It happened in a manifestation where he was being arrested. Well, sorry, but that's just a heart attack. The police had nothing to do with it. What are they, freaking Jedi, freaking Sith? They had no freaking doing that. Politics, yeah, indeed. Politics ruin everything, especially academia. Politics should steer clear from academia, I say. Something really interesting. I love this conversation. It's super interesting indeed. So yeah, we went from aliens, we went from history, and now we went to the present times. Well, my message to all of you is, don't be afraid of history. Don't be afraid of the future. Do not be afraid of anything. We are all just... Politics is overwhelming, indeed. We are all just a freaking atom in a sea of chaos. And we can have a lot of fun in this sea of chaos. I mean, you're watching me, you're having a good time. I'm just one of the factors of chaos. I'm a gentleman living in Argentina, of all places, freaking Argentina, that likes to stream a lot. I like the Vtuber because I like the Vtuber avatars, because they're super fun to play with. And you see, that is chaos for you. The way you reach this place was chaos, was pure luck. Of your Google search histories. Indeed. The Google search history is another thing entirely. Let's hope they never leak to the public. Anyone. Any search history. The thing is that, well, like I say, don't be afraid of history. Actually study history. They will give you a lot of tools to understand the present and to understand where can we go from here. And maybe even fight for that destiny. For example, I know that I say a lot of negative things about the left in most of the thing. I'm actually a center person, center leaning a little right because I believe in free market and the free travel of ideas. But the thing is that I also understand where the left is coming from. We have had a lot of failed experiments through the ages, most of them by right-leaning sides of the things. Like, for example, a lot of free market that ended up in a lot of people suffering because there are no works available and all of that. And I understand they want to stop that from happening again. But that's the problem. They believe history is a cycle, and they believe it will happen again if they leave the things to happen again. And that's not how it works. Maybe it will work out this time. Who knows? But at the same time, they are blinded to the left problems, to all the failed experiments they did. For example, the Soviet Union. For example, a lot of the Cambodia, I believe, other countries from that side. They were from the left, and they were like killing people left and right, making little genocides in their countries just because they wanted to create this perfect utopia where they will be the super powerful thing. Too early to explore space, and I may be born too late to truly understand our universe, but it wasn't for just the right time moment to enjoy this. Yay! Yeah, indeed. There is a thing about Voltaire. If you ever read Voltaire, you will love it. The thing is that Voltaire said there is no better place as the present. The idea of the golden era long past is just stupid. There is no better moment than the present. People, for example, I saw a thread in Twitter. I'm a lot in Twitter because I follow a lot of artists and I like to see their art, most of it, not the political things. I love this song, by the way, I love it. The thing is that I saw a thread that were like, this is you in the present there. It's nostalgia like indeed. Like, for example, they were like, this is you in the modern era. And they showed you a crammed subway station full of people and people trying to push in to get to the train and all of that. And that was like the negative. And then they were like, and this was a peasant in the 1800s. And it showed you this beautiful house. That's a blatant lie. That's a blatant lie. Yes, very good art. Oh, I see you are actually a connoisseur of the same art I'm looking. Oh well, what are we gonna do? Do not get into my Twitter, it's only 18 plus. The thing is that freaking nostalgia. Lol indeed. Freaking nostalgia. Nostalgia is a dangerous thing. Nostalgia can be a tool for atrocities. Nostalgia can be a tool for stopping change. Nostalgia can be a tool to make you feel bad. Just like that, just to make you feel bad. There is the moment we're living right now is better. With sentiment, indeed. But the thing is that, have you seen where you live? Have you seen where a peasant or a freaking 1800 person live? They will kill for our freaking way of life. Every single time prior to the present will kill for a way of life. Just like every single person in the past will kill for any time you put in the future. Yeah, nostalgic is actually a good sentiment because it's actually like, it's rewarding for the soul to have a nostalgic. For example, I'm a nostalgic for traditional art. I would love to see paintings like those made in the 1800s or the 1900s. I don't like modern art at all. I can understand it and I can see the appeal of just like have a white canvas and say, this is my art. I can understand the sentiment behind it. I can understand the message, like to say art is subjective or art can be anything or something like that. I don't like it though. For example, an art gallery that is full of broken bottles and the art is just that, the broken bottles, and you are like, this is trash. But at the same time, you can feel it. You can feel that, yeah, this is art. But would you pay for this art? No, in a million years. I will pay for a picture like the one I have in the current YouTube thumbnail that you're seeing. I will pay for that. I will pay for a painter drawing me a battle between two knights. I will pay for a painter drawing me a tertulia, a meeting of the high society. I will pay for an art. For example, Victoria 3, the video game, has beautiful art I will pay for. Well, I pay for it because I bought the game. But I will pay for it to have it in freaking paintings in my home. I will do that. Like, I would love to have that art make a comeback. But I can't understand why people don't want to do it. Because it's a slow process, because it takes a lot of time, and takes a lot of resources. When you can just grab a rock and say, I found this is art, and just go with it. Right? But then you have digital artists that draw, for example, anime characters, that draw OCs, that draw a lot of things. For example, Steven Universe, for example, Into the Spider-Verse, for example, Adventure Time. All of them create art. And they do it in such a masterful way. I just love it. Or you have video games. The beauty of art styles, indeed. Or you have different games too. Like Botanicula. Like freaking Beacon Pines that we played this week. Like
freaking The Last Door with its pixel art, or the new games that we're going to be playing a lot, a lot until it's finished, Nightmare Frames. All of those games have different art styles and they are all so good. Or for example, Thomas Was Alone. They are just rectangles and they are so beautiful. Full of personality, full of abilities, full of everything. And it's just a couple of rectangles. Different art styles are my jam. Even the new art styles. Like having a bunch of bottles breaking a freaking exposition. Those work too. Even though they are not my cup of tea, they work too. And that's incredible. That's satisfying. To have such a creative people behind everything. Even though they are just regular modern artists. With abstract art, that will be amazing. That will be amazing. I think there are actually a couple being developed, but I'm not sure. The thing is that we, artistically speaking, we can talk about a sort of like chaotic evolution. Rethinking what art is. Thinking about the theory, thinking about the artist. For example, there was a time, I'm not okay with this theory, but it was a theory in the literature aspect, I believe, that said that every single play, every single book, every single poem was bound to be created regardless of the artist, because they are all a freaking creation of their time. I'm not okay with that way of thinking, but it's such a fascinating way of thinking. That is a way of thinking so interesting, and at the same time, so dehumanizing, right? Like, say, for example, that the books I write will be written no matter the circumstances, feel like they are taking away from me, taking away from the artist what they can do. Saying that, for example, Inuyasha would have been created by anyone, regardless of the author, but the author has so much input into it. Thinking about The Lord of the Rings, imagine that, being created by another person that is not Tolkien, it's just not possible. That's my way of thinking, that's my theory. The artist is actually the creator of the art. The art by itself cannot exist. Only the artist can create art. And they put so much of their experience, so much of their past into the art. So much of the trauma, so much of the joy, so much of the tragedies into it. Just being a painting, being a book, being a movie, being a video game, artists do that. Yeah, give monkeys a typewriter and a lot of time and they can create Shakespeare and such. I don't believe in that. I found it fascinating that the mental process behind thinking about it, but I don't feel like that is a thing. I can only think about humans creating art of that degree. For example, there are like some cases of animals creating art. For example, freaking beehives. Have you seen a beehive? It's a work of art. Have you seen bird nests? They are also work of art. But that is because we see it through our human lenses as art. All of these creatures see it as a means to an end, as a function. The beehive has this particular shape because it functions. The bird nest has this particular shape because it functions. The nest of the fish in the sea, have you seen the blowfish? There is a fish that creates like beautiful patterns in the coast of Japan under the water. The thing is that that fish creates that not because of the gratification of creating art, but basically because they create it because it serves a function. It's hardwired into their instincts. But what is instinct, by the way? Who was the first animal who created a nest? How was that thought process? Was instinct? Was it instinct? Did that creature just came out of the egg, different from the others, and was like, I'm gonna build a nest? And what is the process behind it? How much is it learned from the moment they're born? I don't know if it's possible, but I think it is actually. How does instinct work? Evolution, you'd say, yeah, but evolution is also chaotic. Like, what is evolution? Sophia could probably answer all of these questions for us. But what is evolution? What is evolution other than a chaotic set of events that somehow succeeded? It's an incredible thing to think about, to critically think about. For example, evolution is genetic lottery. It's not only genetic lottery because there is some pattern of learning from one's mistakes. Co-op streams. Yeah, I should totally bring Sophie along. She needs a Vtuber though, she doesn't have one. But I will totally have her along. And she's a super interesting lass. Sophia is such an interesting lass. I'm not a couple of her. We are not a couple. But we have known each other for 15 years. And I can tell you that she is the most interesting person and so clever. So freaking clever and so in touch with her emotions. I'm more of a meticulous person. She's more of an emotional person. That's why we have a lot of fights actually. But we always get through. She's a good friend indeed. The thing is that evolution is also a sort of learning thing. How does evolution works? I never understand it, and we didn't understand, and we don't understand it either. For example, we thought that evolution from Darwin and such, we thought that it was such a lengthy process. We're not the truth, but it was stop shipping. It's okay, I love it. I love that you ship us, that's okay, Savage, I love it. You can't take away messages in this format because I'm constantly seen at the chat. And I read really fast. The thing is that evolution, how does it work, right? For example, we thought we knew how it worked. It was a lengthy process that it was not perceivable to the beings having the evolution. But now, in the current era, with the sprouting of cities and the spread and all of that, we're seeing evolution in plants happening overnight. We are seeing evolution in animals living in the cities happen overnight. We are seeing evolution in insects happen overnight. For example, did you know that to be born with an extra finger? Indeed. But it's more than that. I believe it's more than that. For example, did you know that moths are actually not going into the lights? I don't think usually genetic and inherit. Yeah, but at the same time they are created. Somehow they are adapting. They adapt, they learn, they survive. And that's how they work. For example, moths. You usually see moths in like public light, like going there and dying. But did you know that they're actually evolving with cities and they are actually resisting the urge to go to the light? And they're actually living their lives normally. Moths, insects, they're actually learning. They get constantly used and improved through genetics, and so it will continue. Yeah, but at the same time, for example, in the Inca, they believed that having an extra finger was actually a good sign because you could work better. Why didn't the Inca become all 6-finger? That is because the genetic didn't work out. It didn't like pass to the next generation so well. They still have 5 fingers, so why didn't they evolve? Why aren't we evolving? Why don't we have a 6-finger, all of us? Like, I think it has come to pass like a lot of time for us to evolve. It's incredible. It's freaking incredible. But the Inca, though, and for example the Sherpas, have evolved a special way of breathing, I believe, or a way of assimilating oxygen that allows them to live in high places. That's incredible. And for example, those genetic traits that are so useful for the whole of humanity, why can't we actually create going back to the lab babies, why can't we like pass that gene to the rest of humanity and evolve humanity for the better to have more advantages rather than disadvantages? That will be interesting to see. It will be good. But even some genetic things that are important doesn't go through all the time. They don't go through. Sometimes they fall flat, even if they are super useful. It can happen. Evolution is more than that. Here comes Sophia. Get ready. She's here. I told you she was going to come. She's also going to come, and she's going to throw away everything I say for something even better. Evolution is always a good thing, sometimes it's detrimental. Indeed, indeed. Evolution is chaos, pure chaos. It's a lottery. Indeed, indeed it does. Indeed it happens. Indeed it happens. So, Sophie, come on. Opportunity. Ooh, tell us more. Damn it! I wish I could have you, Sophie, in a chat, in a Discord chat, but I know you're actually like working currently animating, so no. And I wish you could have an avatar like mine. I could have you in my same screen. I can bug the DLC of this beautiful platform. Debate, yeah. Something that is new good right now can be good in the future. Indeed. Discord call discussion. That would be so good to have, actually. Like, yeah, I'm talking from an artistic point of view. Sophie can go for this freaking scientific point of view. That's right. Imagine if we had, like, some children that can live against radiation, and then the war starts, and they are good in the future, not in the present, necessarily. Something interesting. It would be so cool to have Sophie here, next to me, co-hosting these little streams. That would be super cool. Me and Sophie tend to have really interesting debates. They usually end up being us fighting a little, but well, what are we gonna do? Debates are like that. Super interesting topic, this one, about evolution. Like, for example, why do we need butterflies with beautiful patterns in their wings? Or, for example, how did evolution realize that a bug could have the shape of another thing, like a leaf or a branch, and survive? How did evolution realize that a snake with a tail that looks like a spider could actually hunt better? How? Wait, what happened? What happened, Moose? Ooh, you're having an idea, go for it. I'm gonna drink some water in the meantime. I'm so hungry I will eat a freaking bowl. Some are supposed to have a look like those to deter predators. Yeah, I know that. But how did evolution came to the conclusion that that was a thing? Like, how? It's a genetic lottery, but it's a hell of a big lottery, almost artistic in nature. How did they came to the conclusion that if I look like a branch, I will not be eaten? Then I will be able to reproduce, and we will all look like branches. How? It's incredible. All the scientists can tell you the reason, but when you are like asking the how, everyone goes like, I don't know. This is incredible. I believe, for example, in the fact that we as humans are going to end up selecting which species are going to accompany us to the next thing in life. But it's cool to talk with all the points of view. Indeed. One of the brothers is born with a creepy looking pattern, it lives long, it reproduces, and it passes down that pattern. Indeed, indeed. Indeed, it's a genetic lottery, and it's also a life lottery. Like, you can be eaten. For example, what happened if the first branch insect was basically crushed by a bigger being that didn't saw it and just like crushed it, and that's the end. The ones with less intimidating ones die off. Of course, I never talk about that. I never talk about the fact that butterflies can look intimidating to other beings. For us, they are so beautiful, but for others, they are like, Oh my god, it's a butterfly, get away from it, it's poisonous probably. It's incredible. Everything is incredible. Freaking evolution, our planet, everything is incredible. It has to do with physics? I don't even want to know about physics. You don't want to know about physics either, Sophie. I know what you're studying, Sophie, and you don't like it. Oh boy, this conversation is so good. Oh boy. So yeah, but how do we end up here? Don't bring in the math! But Bones, all the world is mathematics! Even me talking right now is pure mathematics! It has to do with my vocal cords singing to a particular rhythm that can be explained with physics. It's freaking incredible! The egg is the perfect example. No, why? Why did you do it? I love it. It's not a person that chooses. Indeed, evolution is not a person that chooses. That's right. Math isn't real. Yeah, math is the only constant. It's the only constant in the universe, Bones. Math is the only constant in the universe. It's basically the freaking language of creation is mathematics. Am I right, Sophie, about that? Is mathematics the language of creation? Biology is half math, yeah. I know, I have seen you study mathematics. But mathematics is the language of creation. It's incredible that we were able to understand it. It's incredible that we were able to, like, just do a lot of things about that. But you think about evolution is just energy. Indeed it is. It's hit the random button and see what it lands. Everything is mathematics. My synapses in my brain right now are all purely mathematics. I know you understand the Bones, don't worry. But yeah, the universe speaks in mathematics. And we were able to understand it. Imagine that shit. It's crazy. I believe that the understanding of the universe shouldn't be something that any being should learn. Like, how? How the frick are we able to understand that freaking stars are other suns and they are X miles away because of the way their light looks? It's incredible. And how will we be able to understand that their light is actually what remains of their dead bodies because light travels for so long? So incredible. And the universe is there for us to take. Incredible. In-fucking-credible. We just need to develop freaking wormhole technology and we're set to go. It's what makes humanity fascinating, indeed. Everything has to do with mathematics, except for culture, I will say. Well, they have their origins in mathematics, but their culture is like such an interesting topic too. Culture is so great. And so freaking difficult to understand. How is it created? Why is it created? We can have an idea, but the core things are not necessarily there. For example, Sophie once told me a moment about culture. For example, you have a religious person with its congregation, right? And this religious person has a cat. And the cat is a freaking nuisance in the congregation, so he grabs the cat and puts it on a box. He does this every single time. The humans can crack their knuckles and join without consequences. I don't know what I will do with a cat. Indeed, me too. Look at it. I cracking my knuckles right now. No te hace Europa. Sophie started speaking Spanish because she doesn't have the brain to speak in English right now. It's okay, you can speak in Spanish and I will translate for the rest of them. For the rest of the people. The thing is that this religious person puts the cat into the box. Then the religious person dies. The cat dies too. And the thing is that the congregation, when they go back to like preach its teachings or do something like that, they go around and put cats in boxes for the duration of the congregation. Nobody will understand why, and we in the future might think, oh, it's a religious thing. when it actually came from a really down-to-earth thing. The cat was annoying, but the congregation was like, this has a hidden meaning. It's incredible. It's super incredible. I have so much hungry right now. How much time does the stream get going? 2 hours and 33 minutes. Amazing. We're going to continue and think, oh my god. I just went to my mail and the first thing I found is one of these spam mails. It just said, can we talk? Can you imagine what the freak is this? Miss, you and Sonia? Yeah, of course. Can we talk? Yeah. Yeah, whatever you say. You're going to say me that you're a millionaire from freaking Dali or something like that. Fishing. Go away. Those mails are so fucking... They're so fucking annoying. Have you ever received those mails of, like, for example, a lady that says, I'm an elderly lady. I live in Turkey, but I'm from the USA. My family wants all my money. Can you please take $8.5 million to your account and donate them to charities? They are so freaking funny. I don't know who the freak falls for them. More times than I can count, me too. But I can't believe it. If they still exist, that means that there's people that falls for them. Maybe an attention for the future, like can upgrade your PC. Indeed. Maybe. But they're all spam. I really need to stop visiting unsavory websites. Indeed. We all need to stop visiting unsavory websites. I have never been into an unsavory website, actually, now that I think about it. Never been to, for example, 4chan, all of that. I never been to there. I just hear they're terrible and that's it. I don't need to know anything else. I never went to those sites. I don't like drama. You can see because my channel is actually, I have a feeling that my channel is not growing because I'm not going into the drama trends. Like, I could be talking about Lil Tay's reason, like say that she was dead and she was not, but I will not do that. I don't care. It ain't worth it. Yeah, it ain't worth it. They're just like going to ruin your day. You're just going to find out that humanity is really dumb. Well, actually, a minority of humanity is really dumb, but they are the most vocal about it. For example, flat Earth enthusiasts, they are so stupid, my dude. Why did you believe that the Earth is flat? It's so stupid. So freaking stupid. The Earth is flat. How do you freaking explain everything then? Those persons are the new first 21st century Christians of the classical era, my dude. They are like that. What are they gonna do? Push us off the edge of them as a punishment? Amazing. Oh, I wasn't able to read that, Savage. Damn it. I was too late. But my dude, everything. What are they gonna do? Push us off to the edge? Indeed. What are they afraid of? That the turtle that carries the earth is going to die out of old age? I wasn't able to read it, damn it! I missed it. And Savage writes the best comments ever. I don't know why he retires them, but I love them. The fact is, like, people have believe in flat earth. People for Dubai write me all the time. Indeed, me too. But for example, why do we have this sudden spike on counter-scientific culture? I think it's because scientific culture wasn't able to give us the answers that we were yearning for. For example, if we believe that Earth is round and we all live in the same planet and we are interconnected and all of that, we are basically going for a globalism approach, right? Like, we are going for a, let's say, more unified world. We are striving for that. If we believe we live in the same planet and we need to go to another to keep expanding and surviving and maybe expanding life itself, we might, that scientific thing will be actually like going to that ideology. But if we say that the earth is flat, we are actually saying that God is real. We are saying that there is something beneath us, like hell, and all of that. So they're trying to go back to a previous age where morality was upheld above everything else and something like that, I believe. I'm not sure. But that is my super deep understanding of that. Like, if I had to ramificate the thing of flat earthers, I will say that. They are actually trying to go back to a previous time where they think humanity was better. So they go back to flat earth. That way they can actually expand themselves across the world, because flat earth actually goes well with the idea of manifest destiny from a nation and all of that. If the people that follow these senseless beliefs were just initially bad at spotting fake from the truth. Probably most of them are like that, but there are some core ones that believe in that is true. Once they are being brainwashed, then after they just develop the ability to resist what they think is fake. Indeed. Is to make themselves seem more interesting by going against the norm, to make themselves seem better than they really are. Probably. There are some of them, but are probably like that. I'm actually scared of the ones that actually believe those are truths. Because they believe of them like a dogma, and they will actually support atrocities if it's for the sake of their senseless agenda. You will survive at the amount of hard-headed believers of the most stupid beliefs. Yeah, indeed. For example, people that believe in cults that have levels. Did you believe that? Can you believe that shit? People that go to a place and say, I'm level 4, I have talked with the freaking gods. They're like, you're stupid. The giant spaghetti monster is the only right religion to believe in, and I cannot think otherwise. The giant spaghetti monster is real. You cannot fight me on that front. I eat only spaghetti because I adore the giant spaghetti monster. Oh my god. That was so incredible. The giant spaghetti monster conception was so great. A person saying, I can do a religion of whatever I want, so I will do a giant spaghetti monster. And they do it for the lols. It's so great. Such an interesting approach to humanity. To the stupidity of humanity, if you ask me. Oh boy, that is such an interesting thing. Let me see what other music I can put. Life is only one big simulator and the Matrix is a reality. That is another thing that I'm like, that could be true, but it's actually a way to disregard this reality, thinking that, for example, maybe if we screw up, we will reset and we will have another chance. That's such a way of thinking is dangerous. But like I say, that is another belief that could be true. We could be living in a simulation, who knows? But if we don't, and we just believe that we're in the simulation to screw around and destroy the planet and all of that, because we believe they're going to reset us and save us, we're going to screw ourselves. So we can't live our lives recklessly, believing that there is a higher purpose or we are just a simulation. We need to actually be better. We need to actually think the truth. The truth is that we exist. Even if we are a simulation, we do need to do things the right way. So yeah. With what can humanity do now and the ideas we can create, I won't expect to be surprised if it is. Indeed. But I think about it because I don't need any more chaos in my life. Indeed. And even if we are a simulation, the reality is that the result should be, we need to be the best person we can be. Because if we are a simulation, are we a simulation for whom? Who is looking at us? Right? Like if we are a simulation from a computer of a really advanced alien species, and what if we are the test subject to see if freaking feelings are valid? Right? Like, what are they seeing? The thing is, doesn't exist outside of this matrix. I'd rather live there. Indeed. I'd rather live here too. The thing is that if we are a simulation, and let's say focusing on Earth and not in the galaxy, we should be the best that we can do, like that we can be, in order to make our freaking creators proud. I will say. That will be a thing, right? If we're a Matrix, we should be striving to be the best we can be. To make whoever created us proud. That is a good way to like get a positive outcome for a really not so good idea, if you ask me. But that is a thing. We should always try to be the best we can be. I always try to do that. Both here on the channel and both in the world in general. I try to be the best one I can be. The best Joseph I can be. The best Chef I can be. So everyone can have a smile. You think our creators are a disappointment? Maybe they are actually impressed. Maybe they took a long time to get where we are. Though there will always be people going like, bah, it's just a simulator. If all else falls, then just start over. Yeah, indeed, but that's the thing. We don't need to think that way. That way is destructive. That way is just such a derrotist, how do you say, defeating way of thinking. And we don't know if the simulation is an Iron Man save. We don't know if maybe there is no way to revert to things as they were. But that's a cynicism in me. Yeah, indeed. I'm a cynic too. I believe that things that could really wrong really fast. But I'm also like a positive outcome thinker. I think that humanity will strive forward. Even though all our difficulties, even though all our potential distraction, even all of those things, we can do it. I believe we can. Maybe not in my lifetime, maybe I will never see it done, but we can do it. We can strive forward. Maybe we will have some aliens to help us in their way, who knows? Why sacrifice the present for a better future if you can make it better now? Indeed! Just make a better present. A positive cynic, that's a fun combo. Indeed it is. I'm a person of contradictions, if you ask me. Like, I'm a believer that everything's going to shit, and at the same time I'm like, yeah, we can do it. We can totally do it and strive from it, and come the better in the other end. The thing is that we don't need to sacrifice the present. We can make the present better now. Aren't we all? Indeed, indeed. We can totally do the best present we can. For example, I want to go to the gym. I have my talks about going to the gym. The thing that is expensive, but I want to go. I want to lose weight. I want to be in shape again. I want to. And I probably will go back. Probably next week, I don't know. If I do, I'm going to keep you updated on my freaking pain. On the pain of on my body, but well. We can totally make the better of ourselves. For example, Bones, stream more. You're amazing. I love when you stream, and your voice is so freaking sweet. It's almost like honey. Savage, I don't know much about you, about what you do, but come on, you can do it. Right next to my dying soul. No. You can do whatever you want. The same goes for everyone who was, damn it, I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to make myself big. I wanted to click here. The same for Sophie. You're going to be a great scientist. I know it. I know you will do, you're going to make it. I know Sophie's going to be a great scientist, a great biologist, a great speaker about the beauty of life. Who else was here? I know the universe book was here a moment. You can do it. A guy with a Glock, go for it. Go for whatever you want to do. Fernando Moraga, I don't know if you're still here, but you're amazing, my dude. You're super amazing. And such a generous people too. You donated me the freaking Dead Cells DLC, and I can't be more thankful for it. So thank you. Thank you, you're amazing. And Sayway, you can do it too. All of you can all do it. Yeah. Like, why wait for the future? Don't go waiting for the future. Do it now. Do it now. You want to do something, do it now. Unless it's legal, but do it now. You can all do it. I can do it. You can all be the best you want to be. You want to be a writer? Go for it. You want to be a scientist? Go for it. You want to be a Vtuber? Go for it. You want to be whatever you want? Just go for it. I know there are times where things will be difficult. I know there are times where things will look that there is no other way to escape. But all times pass. The present is chaotic. You don't know where you will be tomorrow. So keep going forward. Procrastination tendency intensifies. Well, I can actually understand that because I have that too. I know I also had difficult times in my life where I see I couldn't do anything. But look at me now. Look at me now. I'm actually working as an artist. I'm actually working as a Vtuber. I was able to have the partnership with Vtuber you done through, so I'm okay. So yeah, this is better than most of those self-help gurus. Oh, thank you. I'm just talking from experience. I have in my life, I'm going to be honest, I have suffered a lot. Like a lot. But here I am. I'm still alive. I'm doing what I can. I'm doing what I want, and I'm happy with it. I'm happy with what I am. I had my moments of doubt, of course, like everyone, but I survived. So yeah, that's great. Well, I think it's time to end the episode though. I know it has been a beautiful episode so far, but well, it's a good note to end it on. Like yeah, I know procrastination is a thing, and I think it serves a purpose. I don't know which one yet. Maybe to have you better prepared for whatever you want to do, but procrastination is a thing. Try to defeat it. It's something that you can defeat. It's a little difficult, I know, but it can be done. So, ladies and gentlemen, Savage, Bones, Sophie, a guy with a Glock. Ah, damn it, I back again. I'm doing Zoom myself. Guy with a Glock. Who else was here? Alisa Horvat was here a moment ago. A guy with a Glock, Fernando Moraga, all of you. Thank you all for coming to this stream. It was a really, really, really fun one. Procrastinate and the stream later. I need to end the stream now. We have been talking for a long time and I have things to do. All this is illegal, indeed. I'm a procrastination of my procrastination. Oh no. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for being in the stream. I love the talking streams. I think we're gonna keep them every weekend rather than a gaming stream. So, thank you very much everybody for watching. I hope you had a blast. I was the Lost Chevalier, signing out. Bye bye. See you Monday. See you Monday. Have a good Saturday. Bye bye. Have a great weekend. See you later. Bye bye. Bye 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 bye.